my little learners, welcome to grade 2 reasoning book, and this is your chapter number 2, and we are going to learn about geometrical shapes. So when you work in the geometry, you draw different shapes, you draw shapes on the paper, right? And those shapes are called two-dimensional shapes. And then here we are going to learn about 3D shapes. 3D shapes are solid shapes, and these solid shapes have faces, edges and vertices. So here we are going to learn more about them in the class. Look at this figure. Here you could see we have a cuboid, and this cuboid has 6 faces. Then you talk about vertices. It has 8 vertex, and when you talk about edges, it has 12 edges. So let's learn more about them over here. When you talk about flat shapes, these shapes are always two-dimensional. It has a length and it has a breadth. And when you talk about solid shapes, they are always three-dimensional shapes. And three-dimensional shapes have length, breadth and height. Now we also say that these shapes have faces, edges, corners and vertices. So let's learn about flat shapes. Here we start with a triangle, and a triangle has 3 sides. We say it has 3 corners. We also call these corners as vertices. Coming to square, it has 4 sides, right? And each side is equal. Then it has 4 vertices, or we also say they are corners of the square. Then we have rectangle. Rectangle also have 4 sides, but here the opposite sides are equal. It has 4 sides and 4 corners. Then we take circle. Circle is round shaped figure like a bangle, yes, and every time we say that circle doesn't have any side, it doesn't have any corner. And when you see oval shape, children, oval shape is a egg-like shape and it is suppressed circle. So we say it has no corner and it looks like a egg. Moving ahead, now we come to solid shapes. So the first shape that we take is a cube. Cube has 6 faces. These are the faces, and all the 6 faces are equal in size. So when you put each face one over another, they overlap, and these are called the corners or vertex. And the plural of vertex is vertices. It has 8 vertices, and these lines are called edges. We say a cube has 12 edges. And if you take the example of ice cube, you take the example of dice, all these are the shapes of cube. Moving to cuboid, it is formed by joining 6 rectangular faces, and it has 8 corners like a cube, and it has 12 edges like a cube again, right? And if you talk about a matchbox, a shoe box, a pencil box, all these are examples of cuboid. That's nice. Now we take another shape, cone. Does it remind you of a birthday cap? Yes. And when you look at a cone, it has just one pointed part, that's called the corner or vertex. And it has 2 faces. The top face is a curved face, and at bottom we have round flat face. And then if you look at a cylinder, it reminds you of your pencil, right? And water bottle, it has a circle on the top and a circle at the bottom. So we say it has 2 flat circular faces and 1 curved face is here. Now these circular faces are attached with a curved part, and we say it has 2 curved edges. These are the edges of cylinder, right? And a candle is also the example of cylinder. Every time if you have a cylinder, if you have a cone, they could be rolled. But when you look at a cube, a cuboid, we cannot roll them, they only slide. And what about a ball? It is a sphere. It doesn't have any corner. It has only one curved surface and it looks like a football. Does it? Yes. Now we have an exercise for you. Let's begin. A dash has 3 corners. Tell me. Yes, that's triangle. And a square has how many corners? 4. Beautiful. A dash has no sides. Can you name it? Yes, that's a circle. And a triangle has how many sides? 3. Good going. All sides of which figure are equal? Yes, intelligent child. It is a square. And rectangle has how many corners? Perfectly answered. That means you understood the concept nicely. Opposite sides of rectangle are equal in length. And a circle has no corners. A square has how many sides? It has 4 equal sides. And what is the shape of the door of your house? Perfectly answered. That is rectangle in shape. Now we take solid shapes and we quickly recall. A sphere has one face, no edges and no vertices. Coming to cone, it has 2 faces, one curved and one flat circular face and one edge and one vertex. Then coming to cylinder, it has 3 faces, 2 are flat circular and one is cylindrical curved face, and that makes 3 faces in all, and it has 2 edges but no vertices. Talking about cube, it has 6 faces, 12 edges and 8 vertices, and the same thing happens with cuboid as well. Now, can you see how wonderful things can you create by using 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional shapes? Your task to find out that how many rectangles do you see here, and could you see a cube, cuboid and sphere over here? Yes, start looking for it. It's a wonderful activity. Moving further, I have brought few more examples. How many rectangles are there in the figure given alongside? If you look at this figure very carefully, you will observe that this is one rectangle and another small rectangle is here, and this one is third rectangle. We say there are 3 rectangles. And next example is that I have 6 rectangular faces. A book or matchbox looks like me. So who am I? Clapping. You gave a right answer. I am a cuboid. So this way, I believe you have understood how to deal with different figures. Now in this question, you have to find how many triangles are there. But make sure that you do a right counting, because some triangles are small in size here like this, and some triangles are even bigger in size like this. So be very careful when you start counting. Next question is, which of the following objects does not have a curved surface? So out of these objects, can you chalk out which surface is only flat and no curved surface is there? Your time begins now to look at these questions carefully and find the number of triangles, squares, rectangles, and observe these shapes very deeply. So this is going to improve your mental skills, and it is a wonderful mental exercise where you are able to recognize different shapes, identify the shape is 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional, and then this is going to be a brain booster for you. It improves your memory. Remember, doing reasoning questions develops your mental health. So believe me, when you are going to start doing these reasoning questions, it is going to make you mentally stronger, and it is a wonderful mental exercise. So now your time is where you are going to hold a pencil and scribble on the paper to check how many triangles, how many squares, how many circles, how many flat surfaces, and I say get set go.